Well, I think it really depends. You got to go from industry to industry. I think everyone's been fixated because of COVID on masks and PPE, but that frankly is something is fairly easy to kind of rebuild here in the United States if we choose to, with the right incentives. And I think there's probably a good case to be made that you don't want to rely entirely on other countries on some of these critical supplies should another pandemic hit. But I think the more challenging issue and the more difficult issue is not PPE or masks. It's sort of what to do with some of these, tech supply chains, other high-end goods, things like electric vehicles, lithium-ion batteries, semiconductors. Those are kind of the products that also have a pretty globalized supply chain. It's not just China, obviously. It's a very globalized supply chain, and what to do with that, and how to balance economic security with national security. China now has a dominant position in making lithium-ion batteries, and we all know, batteries is the core of EVs. Without it, the cars won't go, and you need a lot of it. You need thousands of batteries to power a typical EV. So batteries are quite important, and they determine the cost of a vehicle like that. So there's two sides to it. Yes, at the same time, China has batteries, but if they can scale up quickly, that drives down the price of lithium-ion batteries significantly. So once those prices go down, since batteries are such a big component of the total cost of an EV, that's going to drive down EV cost, which means EV will penetrate the market much faster that way when you have lower battery cost. It's a similar situation in solar panels. We've complained about China dominating solar supply. That's true to a certain extent. But the flip side is that if you look at the last 10 or 15 years, solar panel prices have just basically plummeted. And that's because of the China effect, the China price. And, yes, we're getting it from China, but in general, it's probably a good thing that solar panels are cheaper. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's an interesting conundrum for us to think about, and it's an interesting paradox, is that we used to associate the China price with, socks, shoes, items you would find in Walmart. But increasingly, the Chinese are in kind of the mid to high range products where they also have the ability and scale to drive down those prices. So, don't we want to have cheaper solar panels?